Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Mansillon. I wanted to come and say hello today. I am conscious and aware, for those who follow those videos, that a lot of the things that I'm talking about will not be taken seriously in our days and ages. But what I can guarantee is that within 2 or 3 generations, all those things will be integrated and will become common sense. We'll recognize ourselves as eternal beings, as immortal soul. We'll be connected to the galactic families. We'll know the presence of God is an eternal presence in which we all live within. No matter what, it is just we have created veils of separation, and our mission is to go beyond the fear, beyond the shadow aspect of life. I'm going to pull out a few cards and just make a little comment on ascension. For this ascension process is not for everyone. Not everybody is aware or even interested. But if you listen to these videos, that means this part of you is awakening. And once it's awakened, there is no way of turning it back off. You know, the cosmic. Once we are awakened by the cosmic light, the process will continue all the way to the ascension, to the eternal freedom. What is the highest wisdom for us today is the King of Michael. For in many sense, this King of Michael is the King of Air. In the Tarot, it is the intelligence of organization and the intelligence of administrative wisdom and so on. It says, as principle, is rational, ambitious, respected. It's beautiful. Huh? Well, here the archangels are portrayed as men, you know, with wings, but in essence they can manifest in this form, but they're not limited to any form, and they don't really have wings. They just, but this is how we portray them. So if it helps us, that's why it's been portrayed like that. For it says, leave the space for wisdom and objectivity. Have an objectivity. Have integrity. A situation must be managed with honesty, which necessitates a good communication. So it is important to be straightforward, honest, to let the people know how we feel, what we need, to let the universe know, and to be clear in relation to our goals and desires. What we need to understand, so that is the highest wisdom for us, what we need to understand is the 6 of Ariel. Typically, in the six of coins in the tarot is the card of success, reward, gain, material gain, temporal success, small success, but powerful. It's always enjoyable. It's a good card. It says your material needs are being fulfilled in an unexpected way, as by magic. Aspect of kindness. Give and receive with gratitude and appreciation. So it is important to always be kind as much as possible, for if it's not for others, at least for ourselves. It is very, I wanted to say we have to let go, we have to become our best friend, you know. To love ourselves is a concept, but to be our friend, to let go of guilt, of shame, of inadequacies, fear, doubts about ourselves. We have to forgive. It has all been a path of education that we've been through, so there is no need, like Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who carries all his life this guilt about something is done, this lie is done in the past, and so on. And at the end of his life, he thought that he missed out on his life because he lives in his no regret. So it is not about regret, it's about learning and understanding that all our experiences will be memory that will be integrated within the wisdom of our soul eventually. So everything has meaning. Every aspect of life, every moment, every experience has meaning. It is always, there is always reason behind things, as Einstein used to say. God does not play dice with the universe. There is no, God have created all the good, the bad, and the ugly for as tools of evolution. Men will have to decide to leave the dark and heavy, to move into the light and joyful. So it is just a choice. But this universe encloses the possibility for everyone to fulfill whatever thought ideas they choose to develop. The idea as a spiritualist is to do no harm as much as possible, to stay within the law. The law says do no harm, that's the first law. For of course there was Moses before. It was this funny for all his law. From Moses, Jesus said all his love. Then there was Marx that says all his money, and then there was there was Freud that says all is sex, and then Einstein said no, all is relative. For everything in many sense, or they all had a part of the truth. For all is law, all is love, all is sex, all is money in this society. All is relative, and Pythagore used to say all is number. For everything is harmony. I'm going to speak briefly about this philosopher. For what we need to do is the Seven of Gabriel. For the Seven of Gabriel, she's flying on a winged horse, so it is very powerful. It says, defend your conviction, be confident, assert your own place. So we have to be seated within our empowerment. It is important to not be afraid to let others see our light, to fulfill our mission, to be happy, to be content, to be within our power, where we are most able to serve. And so the general message for us is a very good positive card. It's the King of Gabriel, which is usually the harvest card. And here it says it's generous, source of inspiration, enthusiastic. Look at the situation within its totality and let others deal with the details. Your experience leads to success. You are caring of others. So it is all good omens. I was looking at Pythagore. Pythagore is an ascended master that has had many incarnations. He's a great philosopher from the 6th century BC. It was a great century it is the century where Buddha, Confucius, Lao Tzu, but also Heraclite, Thales, Empédocle, Parmenid, all kinds of great philosophers were born at those times. Sometimes Pythagore was reincarnated a couple of times after that. For once they ascended master, sometimes they reveal their Akash once they have ascended, and so they also, his next incarnation after being Pythagore, maybe had a few, but one of them was very famous because he was a great architect. He left us the Taj Mahal. He was this great king that made this Taj Mahal, and then he finally ascended in a life that he was named Kutumi, and now he's serving under this name. Kutumi is a great master. You may call on him. He will help you. He will assist you in whatever way you. So as Pythagore, he believed that everything was number, everything was vibration, and so he, in his philosophy, in his last words, he was saying that it's about working with the harmonization and the vibration of the chord. This chord that he was talking about is not yet understood by contemporary scientific or philosophers, but my intuition tells me that this chord he was talking about is the silver chord. We are connected. Our soul is connected to our consciousness, mortal consciousness, and physical body, all this alchemical aspect, our soul is connected to a silver cord, and when we die, when we surrender this physical presence, the cord is severed and the soul returns into the light with all the memory of the experience that we've had. So in a sense, we are our souls, but we are a projected consciousness through this silver cord, the silver light. The silver is the light of power, the light of the future. You may call on the Archangel Uriel. He possesses great wisdom also to assist, for those guides are here to help and assist. I wanted to say also about education, it is important to educate ourselves always, and with the arrival of internet, there is no excuse for anyone not to educate yourself, because it's free. It's like a free library. Of course, you don't find everything, but there is enough to educate yourself. And they said that in America, for instance, they made a study that the average person reads 1.5 books per year. Maybe a little bit more in Europe, but they said that the billionaire or the multi-millionaire will in America will read in average of 50 books per year. For those people who have achieved this material success, find more value. They understand the value of self-education more than those who are still seeking. So it is important to educate yourself, no matter what you seek. You may not seek financial success, or you may want. In a sense, we want to find a simple life where we can be fulfilled and creative, where we can because sometimes all those material responsibility may not be appropriate when we're seeking to ascend. For it may be too much to handle for some people. So it depends. It depends on how you feel within. In a sense, I believe another thing about Confucius that was interesting. He was talking about the superficial, the internal, and the divine, which is what I was talking about in relation to the ego, the soul, and the I am presence. And for that, he saw three paths of consciousness: the linear path of consciousness, the circular path of consciousness, and the spiral path of consciousness. And so the linear path is what many people live. The circular path of consciousness is an understanding that we can put ourselves within a circle to allow our thoughts to be circular. Then there is no beginning, no end. It is an eternal, it is the eternal, the circle is the eternal perfection of thing. And as soon as we put ourselves in the circle, we free ourselves from all kinds of and when he talked about the spiral of the soul, I think he was talking, well, it wasn't a time when they knew DNA, but that's what he was talking about. For the DNA is the spiral of the soul. On the energetic level, we can learn to stabilize our energy, or move our energy, or project our energy, but in a sense, most emotional connection happens through an ascending spiral or descending spiral. When we are feeling down, it's because we have a spiral that is descending. We got to stop it, breathe, and reactivate the spiral in the upward direction. For as soon as we follow this upward direction, we are able to connect to higher frequencies as our energy goes upwards. And an exercise that you can do is to imagine yourself, visualize yourself in a dark room, and then all of a sudden you visualize yourself a DNA. It's like a big ladder that whirls, and then you're on the bottom of this great ladder. Send to your own DNA a lot of light and love from your I am presence, and see it light, see it shine, and then go through the experience of climbing like this very, very, very long ladder. And when you reach the top, there is an ecstatic moment of like a eureka moment, you know. It's quite an interesting exercise that I had done many years ago, but I work with my DNA. I wanted to also say that we're here to learn everything, to know everything, to love everything, and to share everything. For all is given, life is given, so from there anything is possible. For we are part of this creation. We have no choice on that. We are connected to that which we call life. We are an integral part of life. So as a last comment, I want to say that love is something that's substance, an experience. In a sense, love is more than that, but on the earth we experience love as an experience, as part of as something that overtake all things. When we're in love, it's like love is the most. That's when they say all is fair in love and war. But in many sense, love can only hurt us if love is not free. If we are not serene in relationship to love, for love has to be free. There is no. If we try to condition love, to entrap it, to believe that we own someone else's heart, we will be disappointed, for we do not have that right. The love has to be there, and so it can never be. It's like liquid light. Love is like liquid light. It is something that flows eternally onwards into all over the universe, but it is beyond the speed of light. So it's the glue of the universe. It's everything is glued by love in the universe, the love of God, and it's like in the fifth dimension, it is recognized as liquid light. It is a transcendent. It is an energy that pervades all things, and the intelligence of God is within all those things. And so it is about tuning in and being receptive to those to whatever kind of information that we are. That will assist us in our process. The painting behind me is the first painting I painted when I first returned to France in 2001. It's about the 7 great families of spirit beings. For those things may not be taken seriously right now, but in a few generations, those things will be known. We'll know that we are connected to a universe that is far greater than anything we can dream of, and we'll have access to experiences on the galactic planes that will continue to mystify our mind forever. And as we grow into this new ever onward into new level of self-empowerment and God identification. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you very much for all your support, for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Namaste.